The Mahabharata begins with Arjuna, one of the five Pandava princes, standing at the edge of the battlefield of Kurukshetra, preparing to fight his cousins, the Kauravas. Arjuna is a warrior, skilled in battle, and duty bound to fight. But when he sees the faces of his teachers and friends and family members on both sides, he is overcome with grief. His heart becomes heavy with the idea of killing his own kin, and he is filled with sorrow and confusion. Arjuna's inner turmoil symbolizes a person caught between their duty and their emotions. He puts down his bow and says to Krishna, his charioteer, I cannot fight this battle. I don't want to kill my relatives, my friends, and my elders. This war will bring nothing but destruction, and I am unwilling to be a part of it. I feel as though my heart is breaking. I cannot find peace in this situation. Arjuna, paralyzed by indecision and sorrow, looks at Krishna, seeking guidance on how to cope with this overwhelming sense of sadness and helplessness. Krishna, calm and composed, begins to teach Arjuna that happiness and peace do not come from external victories or losses, but from understanding one's duty and aligning actions with higher wisdom. Krishna urges Arjuna to look beyond the material world and focus on his divine purpose. Krishna's teachings in the Bhagavad Gita are centered around several key concepts that help Arjuna, and by extension us, understand how to find happiness in every situation. The impermanence of life. Krishna tells Arjuna that life and death are part of a cycle. The body is temporary, but the soul is eternal. He explains that death is not the end, and the soul neither kills nor can be killed. This profound realization helps Arjuna see that his fear of death and loss is based on attachment to the temporary. Once Arjuna realizes that his loved ones are not their bodies but eternal souls, he is able to accept the impermanence of life and focus on the larger picture. Krishna says, you have the right to perform your prescribed duties, but you are not entitled to the fruits of your actions. Never consider yourself to be the cause of the results of your activities, nor be attached to inaction. Bhagavad Gita 2:47. In this teaching, Krishna highlights that happiness comes from understanding the transitory nature of life. What seems like a tragedy in the moment is part of the eternal flow of existence. Detachment and selflessness. Krishna advises Arjuna to act without attachment to the results of his actions. Instead of focusing on the potential rewards or consequences of the war, Arjuna is taught to focus on fulfilling his duty, dharma, as a warrior. By engaging in selfless action, detached from personal gain or loss, one can remain at peace regardless of the outcome. Krishna says, perform your duty with a detached mind, free from any attachment to success or failure. Such a mind will remain steadfast in the face of all outcomes. Krishna's words point to the profound wisdom that happiness is not rooted in what happens to us, but how we choose to respond. By surrendering the fruits of actions and focusing on the present moment, we gain the ability to remain happy regardless of external conditions. Self-realization. Krishna explains to Arjuna that true happiness comes from realizing one's divine nature. When Arjuna understands his inner self, not as a mere warrior or a son of Pandu, but as an eternal soul, part of the divine energy, he gains perspective on his role in the larger cosmic order. This knowledge helps Arjuna transcend his personal emotions and see his part in the unfolding of the universe. Krishna says, when you realize that you are part of the eternal and beyond the transient body, you will find peace that no material circumstances can disturb. By embracing his true self, free from identification with ego and external circumstances, Arjuna finds peace and the courage to face the battle, equanimity in the face of success and failure. Krishna emphasizes the importance of equanimity, the ability to remain balanced in both success and failure, happiness and sorrow. In the face of life's inevitable challenges, Krishna teaches that one can find peace by not being overly attached to the highs and lows of life. This equanimity, acting without fear of failure or craving for success, is what leads to lasting contentment. Treat success and failure as the same, for both are fleeting. By being unaffected by victory or defeat, you attain a state of inner peace. Arjuna's transformation. Choosing to fight with wisdom. Having absorbed Krishna's teachings, Arjuna's heart begins to change. His sorrow lifts, and clarity fills his mind. He realizes that the battle is not merely a war between two armies, but a manifestation of the eternal struggle between right and wrong, dharma and adharma. Arjuna, now understanding his higher purpose, picks up his bow once again, ready to face the challenge before him. But this time, he is at peace within himself. Arjuna, though still facing the same external circumstances, is no longer overwhelmed by fear or doubt. His mind is aligned with wisdom, and he approaches the battle not with the expectation of personal gain, but with the understanding that he is fulfilling his duty. Arjuna finds happiness not in avoiding the war, but in embracing his role in the grand scheme of things, with detachment and equanimity, the true happiness. A lesson for all. For all. The lesson from the Bhagavad Gita is clear. True happiness is not found in the absence of pain or difficulty, but in our ability to choose our response to life's challenges. Krishna teaches that regardless of the external situation, happiness is found in performing one's duty selflessly, understanding the impermanence of life, and aligning oneself with a higher purpose. Arjuna's story illustrates that finding happiness in every situation is not about escaping challenges but about facing them with wisdom, resilience, and a sense of inner peace. By realizing that we are part of a larger cosmic order, free from attachment to outcomes, we can remain content and peaceful, even amidst turmoil. In the end, Arjuna's journey teaches us that happiness comes not from changing our external world but by transforming our inner world, the way we think, perceive, and respond to life.